Oh, my God, I got to stop you.
10.
I got to stop. Well,
Yeah,
then
what?
you got to do the update now or else I'm going to do it. You got to do the update now.
Breaking sports news.
How big is it?
Sports Radio.
Massive.
106.7 The Fan.
I love this.
Interesting story this morning. Former Patriots tight end. Patriots, of course, in town, ironically, today to visit the White House. Former tight end Aaron Hernandez was found hanged in his cell at approximately 3:05 this morning, according to WBZ News Radio in Boston. Again, former Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez, who was just found not guilty this past week of double murder, found hanged in his cell at approximately 3:05 this morning, apparently due to a suicide. As more details become available, we'll bring them to you right here on Sports Radio 106.7 The Fan.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Usually a hanging is a suicide.
Well, unless somebody hung you.
I know, I said usually.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find your outliers, but usually a hanging is a suicide.
Good bet that's what happened. Yeah, that's a big one.
That is wild. And it's weird because it's just like, let me just finish the thought. It's just like when that guy Steve himself, that guy lost went on this killing spree, or at least one person. You never root for suicide's the worst. It's just so bad. But it's hard to have sympathy for killers.
You can't.
Well, I still do a little bit, but it's wild.
And it's amazing how quickly a life can spiral out of control, because it wasn't that long ago he was arguably the best tight end in football and seemingly making a ton of money and had everything going for himself. And yet he delved into the thug life.
Well, the world's a better place without him. I don't care how he went. It's a better place.
You're right. You're right. I just
Because he probably would have killed somebody in prison, too.
you probably would have.
Could have been a prison guard.
Suicide's just a really, really, really awful, awful thing. It just throws me. We all know people have committed suicide. I have family members that, it's awful.
By the way, a lot of people have been calling in, and they're just hearing about the Aaron Hernandez situation. He's saying he's thrown.
I am thrown by it.
I just don't care about him enough to be thrown by it.
I have a soft spot for suicide. It's just a horrible, horrible thing. Even for killers, it's weird. It's just weird. I'm not, I'm not crying for him, but it's just it's a terrible thing. I don't know. Sorry.
You just have the idea of suicide.
The idea of suicide is catastrophic. I know what it does to family. Even for killers, look, these people are all throwing their lives away, so it's their own fault.
Right.
But it's just, it throws me.
It doesn't throw me because he was going to be in
illness.
prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah, there's no place in the world for evil people. So I'm like JP, I just don't care.
I understand that. And you're more right than I am.
I mean, it's interesting to me that somebody who was at the top of his field making tons of money, could have done anything, just completely spirals like that. Like it's admirable to me to be in that position and just throw it all away and be in a life where somebody spills a drink on you and you murder them. I mean, that's basically what he was doing.
Every day. It happens every day.
It's crazy.
He just happened to be high profile.
Yeah.
He happened to have the world at his fingertips, like literally everything you would seemingly want.
We've come to find out he had a lot of issues while he was in college and probably even before that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, but the way he was raised, there was a lot of stuff going on there. It's difficult. But still, it always throws me.
And actually, it does throw me a little bit that, within the last week or two, we saw clips of him hugging his family in court, where he actually was victorious in a double murder trial. So he's in there for one murder, but then he had another double murder trial.
You would think he'd be on
and he was found not guilty in that one.
You think he'd be on the upswing. See, I think the guilt factored in. There's two things.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
The guilt. He knows he killed these people.
Yeah.
And it's hopeless being in prison. It sucks.
I think the hopelessness. I don't think there's guilt over killing the two people and getting away with it.
Oh, I think guilt is always doing push-ups. Like, are you kidding? You're just blowing off guilt?
I think it's more.
I'm blowing off guilt in that case, yeah.
Guilt.
I think guilt has a role, but I think in this case it was the hopelessness.
Yeah.
Did you read the statement from the prison authorities?
No,
I didn't bother to read it.
Oh, you should read it.
I read what he did. That he jammed the
just
door
the description
and he hung
of the
himself.
scene.
Just the description of it.
No, I read that. He jammed the door and he hung himself with bed sheets.
It's exactly like sounds like The Wire when they tried to make it look like a suicide, and he like tied it to the door so that you couldn't move.
Yeah.
Remind me, which character?
What's his name?
It's been so long.
I know. It was Avon's like little
His sidekick?
sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
God, I can't think of his name now. That's good.
Well, yeah, if you're just waking up, Aaron Hernandez committed suicide in prison this morning.
Yeah.
Or sometime in the last few hours.
You know, I don't know. I guess he's in hell. I don't know. I don't know where he is. Just, that's another thing. That's a whole just I don't know how you throw away like that. Crazy. It's just like the Steve Stevens guy.
But what life did he have?
Before?
No,
Yeah,
no.
unbelievable life.
No, in prison.
No, I'm saying
in
before,
prison,
just
yes.
killing people.
Yeah.
Of course. The guy Steve Stevens or whatever, all he had was traffic violations. And then he lost. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
He started breaking from reality.
He went nuts.
He went nuts and threw his life away. And, if you believe in hell, he's in hell. I mean, I don't know what's
Absolutely.
going on.
Well, he should be.